Всем привет. Сейчас у нас будет стрим из CD Projekt. В общем, они решили свой замутить, так скажем, во время Gamescom. В общем, сейчас будем смотреть на их Cyberpunk Phantom Liberty. То есть это DLC-шная штучка, если кто-то не знает. Буквально через 2 минутки они начнут. Как вы думаете, будет ли это что-то интересное? Я как бы ждал DLC. И даже из-за этого, скорее всего, и не прошел до конца Киберпанк основной. Потому что у меня там оставалось буквально 2-3 миссии. Да, 2 минутки. С одной стороны, они вроде как позавчера, если я не ошибаюсь, показывали какие-то отрывки своего киберпанка. Ну там, как всегда, у нас какая-то сильная женщина с клинками, всех и всех посылала. В общем, надеюсь, сегодня будет более конкретный взгляд. Так, минута, целая минута. Начинается. Да. 17+. Это вам не это.
My favorite merc. Welcome to Dogtown. There's a job. Coordinates provided.
Какие-то новые персонажи.
You know what to do.
Get your ammo, assault rifles, tactical gear.
And thinking of buying some iron.
The logical choice.
Новые виды оружий.
Green view.
Выглядит ничего.
Getting a ripper to overclock your chrome before the fight.
Ну, естественно, у нас новые обновления,
Okay, I'm ready. Get this shit on the
получается, в улучшениях персонажа. И добавлены перки какие-то дополнительные. Но здесь такое ощущение, появляется магия у персонажа.
Job done.
Premium work, V. I'm closing the gig and sending you a little bonus.
Новые автомобили.
Something that will spirit you home safely. Someone dispatched a hunter. Good luck.
Fuck incoming! Fire QC!
Ну, естественно, да, то, что у нас показывали, это боевка на автомобилях.
All nearby units. We got a situation in Watson. Roger, dispatch. On our way.
И, надеюсь, они наконец-таки поправили то, что полиция не появляется из воздуха, а начинает стоять где-то в определенных местах и подъезжать, когда надо.
Maxed. Time to tilt out.
А вот эти, кстати, бойцы, прям они вообще жесткие. Я встречал как-то их.
I only hope this won't mark the end of our collaboration. You will hear from me soon.
Против них устоять невозможно.
Hello everyone, I'm Amelia, I'm a senior community manager, and welcome to another episode of the REDstreams about Phantom Liberty and Update 2.0. Today with me I have some special guests, and of course my co-host Alicja Kozera. Hey guys! We have Kacper Niepokulczycki, lead environment artist,
Thank you.
and Gabe Amatangelo, game director.
Hi everyone.
Are you guys
Ага, мы теперь видим, кто
супер.
такой гейм-дизайнер, да? Гейм-директор, точнее.
One second.
What's next?
So a few days ago, we showed you guys a new ways to play trailer for Cyberpunk 2077, and today in the stream we're gonna take a deep dive in some of the features that have been showcased in the trailer. So we're gonna go through the reworked perks and the new relic tree from Phantom Liberty. We'll also show you a little bit of Dogtown and some characters that you're gonna meet in Phantom Liberty. We will show you the revamped police system in action, and also some of our brand new vehicle combat and car chases, together with new missions that are vehicle geeks. So as you can see, we have a lot to go through today. That means
Очень
that,
быстро
we're gonna be
говорят,
jumping from
мой
one
мозг
part of
не
the
все
game to
понимает.
another, and the gameplay that you're gonna see is pre-recorded. But we are
Вылавлю
here with you.
какие-то
Any
знакомые
questions
слова
for us,
и
feel
максимум,
free
что
to
могу
drop them in the
перевести.
chat, and we'll try to answer some of them. We'll also have some questions that we already gathered from our official forums and Discord. So we will finish the stream with short Q&A.
Смотрите, у них стаканы разного цвета.
Do it,
You
let's
ready?
do it. Yes.
Okay.
Это
So
какой-то
I think
код.
we will start with,
По-любому.
the Phantom Liberty beginning.
Синий, красный, желтый, красный.
And, if we can. So yeah, one of the questions that we often see on our socials is when we start the Phantom Liberty, you know, the level, the story was, you know, in the base game. So
Yeah. Okay. So.
Локация какая-то новая, да? Или
Basically, it's after the Brigitte.
пока я не могу определить,
No
где это.
spoilers on Phantom Liberty, but it's very difficult to answer that question without
Los
spoiling a little bit of the
Azos.
base game. But the Voodoo
Или
Boys,
это
Brigitte,
0505.
portion of the storyline, after you finish that is when this quest essentially unlocks. Now, as a player coming to the game for the first time, or even when you're coming back, if you want to skip ahead in character creation, there's a way to skip ahead to that moment and immediately jump into the Phantom Liberty action. And of course, if you have characters that are already, or saves that are already past that, immediately Songbird's going to reach out to you when you get into the game. And then if you happen to have
Так,
saves that
ну,
are before finishing
как я
the
вижу,
portion of it,
по
then
управлению
they'll be,
мотоциклом они
in
вроде
general
не
telling you
поправили.
what to do
То
to
есть
get to
там
that
были
point.
некие
But
недостатки.
we have it
Но вроде бы они до сих пор остались.
You can be doing the Dogtown experience, that storyline, and the base game storyline, and back and forth because it's all somewhat related.
okay, and what if someone already finished the game?
So if you finish the game, obviously your save will be before that point of no return point, and then yes, Songbird will hit you up and say, "I got something for you," and then you can go from there.
Right, we already received a call from Xiaomi. She
Так, я предполагаю, это за стену
Songbird.
надо, да? Можно теперь будет переходить. Только я такой стены не помню, где она была там.
Sure. So she's on a plane right now with President Rosalind Myers. Dogtown is a district that there was the war there. That there was the front, and after the war, one of the colonels took control of it and had a falling out with the new United States, Kurt. And Kurt has hijacked basically control of the plane. This is what Songbird's telling you. and needs your help. There's no way that it can communicate with anyone except to you through the relic. So you are the sort of lifeline, their last resort, to try to help intercept what's going to go on there. And you decide whether or not you want to answer the call. And of course, she says that, listen, I'm connecting to you through the relic. I know about the bomb ticking your head, and I'm a badass netrunner. I can solve this for you as long as you can solve this for me. And that is the deal. And you got to decide whether or not you want to jump in.
So this is V's motivation, right?
This is V's motivation at the beginning, yes.
And we trust her.
That's for players to find out.
All right. Do you trust her?
You can't ask me such things.
Kacper, do you trust her?
I think I'm on game this one. You guys have to play it and
Но здесь они хотя бы молодцы, решили, короче, себя в бок убрать куда-то и показывать какой-то геймплей. А то некоторые прям на полный экран, а геймплея ничего нету. Оба, я что-то не понимаю, как она его видит и трогает. Это что это? Она его тоже видит или она программа такая же, внедренная?
What was your question? I'm sorry, I went on that tangent because I wanted to highlight that. So she's the real deal. She's the real deal.
Well, you know, she's a netrunner for the president.
Киану был убит.
Top netrunner for the new United States. Yeah.
But yeah, coming back to the relic, right? We got a relic from her. Maybe we want actually the players to get to that point watching this gameplay.
Yeah, they're going to see that here in a moment. So basically, in addition to
Да, можно геймплей, но только чуть-чуть помедленнее, а то мы слишком устаем смотреть на персонажа, который говорит 10 минут.
And is this when I talk about what the skill tree does?
In a moment.
Okay, sorry, getting ahead.
I guess Johnny is not happy to be suppressed by Songbird like that.
I mean, I wouldn't.
You'll find out how Johnny feels a little bit later in the story.
Dogtown, not so sure. You'll need to get her out of the plane before anyone else does. Nothing's for free, Songbird. We should talk biz. Just got a taste of my abilities, I believe. There's more. I can cure you. Once and for all. Can't know how much I'd really love to believe you, but... I know, V. You've hit a dead end. Nowhere to turn. Been there. Believe me. Consider this, an advance. Your relic's crowded with clusters of corrupted data. And dump it that.
Yeah. Now we can
Да, какие-то внедрения уже пошли новенькие.
So yeah, we got the new relic tree. How does it work?
So the relic tree essentially enhances various different cyberware. That's kind of the theme of it. And the way that you're able to, she helps you unlock some of it, the skill tree opens up, but the way you're able to unlock more potential,
Songbird.
you get the points that you can spend
Или,
for more stuff.
да, Songbird, это она получается, да?
Dogtown. Because again, Dogtown is the former combat zone where the battle between Arasaka and Militech in the United States.
Привет. Ну, смотрим, так скажем, выставку в CD Projekt. То есть они свою игру сейчас демонстрируют, точнее DLC к ней.
One, for example, is basically being able to not only enhance your own cyberware, but find vulnerabilities in other people's cyberware. So as your enemies are out there, you know, if you get headshots, if you get precise headshots, you get damage bonuses, whatnot. We've unlocked basically, it starts to target different locations where people's enemies' cyberware is vulnerable. So it kind of gives you another fun kind of like skill shot spot to hit. And if you hit that and you do enough damage to it, it then has sort of like an EMP explosion. So it's almost like AoE headshots, whereas headshots are like single target damage. This is kind of an AoE thing. So it adds a new tactical element. We've got things where like the gorilla arms that you have.
Пока они болтали, я телефон потерял, где он находится.
And again, I apologize. Throughout this stream, I'm going to get the skill names wrong because we changed it so many times, so I don't remember the one, but I remember the themes of it. So you can knock the crap out of someone and then they go flying. I think we saw some of that in the trailer. With the Manus Blades, you can charge it up and get like a really long range, like 30-meter plus leap out of it, which is really good. And for the overall gameplay kit of being able to
Почему они назвали
gaps
это реликвии, дополнительные вот эти?
Mono wire, you'll be able to put as a net runner hacks through the
Что
mono
им
wire
поставили?
onto the enemies, and then as you further enhance it, you can then spread the hacks from the enemy that you put it to others with the mono wire. The optical camo gets an enhancement through this tree as well, where you're able to like fully kind of just like vanish, like poof, out of combat if you want to reset kind of the stealth gameplay loop if you mess up, or if you want to jump in and get revealed tactically for a reason and then pop out, you can enhance it that way. It goes on and on and on.
Okay, so we explained some of those new perks, but how you actually leveled this new tree.
That's what I was saying. It was the data terminals throughout Dogtown, so it was exploration.
Okay,
so as you can find them throughout your exploration of Dogtown.
So if you level up normally, you will not get the point.
Right, yeah, this is not through the leveling up, this is through exploration to get those points. Okay. Leveling up, of course, still gives you the perk points, which we'll talk about in a little bit, obviously.
I think you can clear this because Anna Triva was coming through. Yeah. You have to explore Dogtown to find those. They're not marked, they're not shown. You have to find them.
It's exploration.
Exactly. It just
you'll hear audio cues. There'll be hints as you're getting close, that kind of stuff. But we really had fun with placing.
Это вот как раз таки, которая внизу она была заблокирована, то есть они вот ее сейчас только внедрили. Это еще было тогда, когда я играл.
So if you do the Phantom Liberty standalone, you get your first set of points from her that allows you to pick sort of one of the foundation ones. And then as you explore, you get one more point for each of the data terminals you have. And I can't remember the exact number of points overall, but obviously if you find them all, you can fill up the tree.
All right. Right, so now we can actually jump into the juicy gameplay details. I know you've been dying to tell us a bit more about the gameplay that we are preparing, so sit comfortable. You're ready? All right. So we prepared the build, the solo build, for our players to see. And I also wanted to ask about the perks reset and the attribute reset. Can we maybe share some information about that before we jump to the
Sure. So everyone is going to be able to, with your save files, your characters, you'll be able to reset your attributes once. And we're doing this obviously because we did a big revamp of the system. And your relic, I'm sorry, not your relic, but your perk points, you'll be able to respend, but you'll also be able to do it on the fly. Not while you're in combat, but whenever you can refund and readjust stuff and find the way you want to play. So that answers the question, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. So we ready with the gameplay? Let's go. So yeah, like I mentioned, we prepared a short showcase of the new skills and perks for the solo build. So yeah, Gabe, floor is yours. I know this is your favorite way to play.
You're carrying the whole show right now.
Oh, so okay, yeah, we're going to the body tree. So, and I can't quite see which ones we're looking at, but the body tree, basically, we have a bunch of different things, that are in that theme. Because overall, the way we approached it is that we wanted to say, okay, if we're in this like dark future, there's cyberware, what are the different fantasies, the different gameplay loops, the different ways you want to experience
Что-то они
which ones are missing,
много чего показывают, только мало чего показывают.
Fleshed out, or you felt viscerally, if you will, is this like sort of like Terminator, type cyberware where you're just in there in the thick of it. So one of the things on the tree is you can get it to where you're the heavy machine guns. If you remember the heavy
Как будет время, как говорится, надо будет обновляться до версии 2.0.
You got the strength, you can really keep it steady and and just melt people with it. The other thing is that the overall theme of this is to be in the midst of the action. So the more you're pushing your fight, there's this adrenaline thing, and the adrenaline meter goes up, and it's sort of this extra level of health or whatever. And if you can do the overhand slam, Quake I think is what we call it now, bam, and the more people you catch in it, the more health that comes back.
Кстати, получилось так, что у них справа сейчас максимальный, так скажем, экипировка брони показана. Либо она увеличивается со временем при увеличении своего уровня.
Crap, there was one there that I just, oh yeah. So what kind of pairs pretty well with the body tree, which I think they showed there a little bit, is on one of the sides of the tech tree, you can unlock the ability to go even higher with your cyberware. So there's a cyberware limit, and then in the tech tree, if you get the right perks, you can kind of push past.
Разработчики прям как я, это, то есть не парясь, стреляет, ну и ладно.
Where essentially you're overloading and you're starting to receive like damage, you have your health max is lower and that kind of stuff. But it pairs really well with this build because you can keep getting adrenaline and regaining your health, right?
Yeah.
So it's one that just happens to, I mean, I can't wait to see all the different builds that the players find and how they mix and match. This is just one way to mix and match like body and tech and kind of has that fantasy fulfillment. And I have a lot of fun playing that one myself. Oh, and of course, how can I miss? So another way you can close gaps is you can charge and then you knock people back like bowling pins.
Мне показалось, или можно кидаться теперь?
I'm talking too fast, aren't I?
No.
I'm talking too fast.
It's okay.
I get excited.
Get excited.
Yeah. There it goes.
О, это будет весело.
Which is fun to do, of course, as well.
А живого можно взять?
And you throw and you arc it just right, and bam, you splat them. It's so much fun.
So you actually touched already the Edge Runner perk, but well.
Ну вот это, конечно, тупо, когда у тебя оружие и ты падаешь.
Correct. Yeah, no, I saw there was some, so pushing the limit and getting into the fury state, you're not ever going to like lose control of your character and start shooting civilians and stuff like that. Like it's like that's not like, but if you do, get to the point where you start on your own agency creating mayhem, definitely the police, which we'll talk about later, will start labeling you as a cyber psycho because essentially you have the agency.
Его аж раскрошило на несколько частей.
You lose control of your character. Yes, you can roleplay it. And you can push that limit, much like David did in the anime, where it's like your health is at a compromise, but you keep pulling it. And we call that the edge runner and the fury limit that you're pushing.
All right. Kasper, do you have your favorite?
For me, definitely going for the crowd control, I call it, my personal favorite. Yeah. We saw the yellow hammer, my favorite run so far. You can do really damage. The thing is that Gabe is geeking about this so much because he's part of designing this. I just geek about this as a gamer because I just love to spend time right now playing it. There's so much more. I just cannot wait to see.
Это, наверное, один из тех чуваков, которые достойны уважения по окружающему миру. Которые прям хорошо составляли все. Ну, кроме заполнения, наверное, я не знаю, они заполняют, нет? Потому что я как-то на какую-то окружность, так скажем, на край карты приехал, а там никого нету, вообще ничего нету. Что там делать, непонятно. Хотя есть какие-то коробочки, которые можно взять, всякую ерунду. Потому что они, видимо, ничего не успели.
Mentioned a lot of things about Dogtown, but we're gonna get a little bit deeper into that and share some more information. So let's get into the gameplay. And yeah, Kacper, what can you tell us about Dogtown? How does it fit into Night City in general? How is it different?
Ничего себе. Там даже американский флаг был. Вообще, что-то я не вспомню. В оригинальной части был вообще американский флаг или нет?
Of course, we had the backstory about the Dogtown being before this dream of very luxury, very rich place on Earth that you can go and have fun and do crazy other things. Yet it never come true because the war happened, right? And people, Militech and other companies, corporations actually, just pulled off out there, and just everything stayed there. All the damaged buildings, even all the hardware that we're helping to build those buildings is there. And for us as artists and storytellers, it gave us a lot of tools to create those stories. Meaning, for example, Night City, it's not very, I would say, safe place, yet it is a city of dreams.
Я не помню вот этой, блин, местности. Даже за, так скажем, за стенами не было вроде ничего такого.
Decaying world and how it goes, how it's being literally consumed by time, yet people trying to survive there. And that gave us a lot of opportunities because Dogtown itself, as you know, it's part of Pacifica. It's the part that before was closed off because of the whole building structures. Right now it's opened, and we had those tools. By those tools I mean we had this idea of making this very dystopian world, and we used the tools like, sorry, I'm trying to make a proper sentence here, I'm sorry. The tools like, because for me as an artist, we had the opportunity to make this use of sand and decaying world, and this makes the whole thing consistent, right? However, yet every single part of the district is a little bit different. We have parts of the district were heavily inspired by Las Vegas, and we have casinos.
Ну так и иногда смотришь на AAA игры и думаешь, блин, сколько это же надо было искусственный интеллект прописывать все-таки. То есть каждый персонаж может быть прописан своей линией, да? Ну, естественно, возвращаясь на определенное, то есть если противника видит стрельба, но до этих действий он, естественно, выполняет свою часть. Ну, как и GTA, как и в Киберпанке. Это как в GTA. Можно даже за персонажем пойти, и ты увидишь, что он, допустим, где-то стоял возле магазина, пошел к себе домой в определенную точку, начал там кормить собаку, еще что-то там, и в итоге ты понимаешь, что очень много прописано у одного персонажа точек. Хотя есть много тупых, которые просто стоят посередине улицы и болтают с кем-то.
From law, meaning NCPD, and trying to hide there. Maybe even conduct business, which is probably illegal there, but you can do crazy shit in Dogtown because why not? There, of course, are people that maybe got drawn there because other reasons. There are people that are just living there because maybe they were pushed away by, you know, life is life. In Night City, you have to be able to survive.
The kind of political situation there is very different than Night City. Like the NCPD's not there. As we said, it was the site of the war.
Интересно, кто это? Я что-то не понимаю. Это какие-то отдельные ветви это?
So it creates quite an eclectic mix and group, and it's also a place where things that are illegal in the city can be done there. And so
новая линейка людей.
It also gives us the opportunity to build contrast, because we're always trying to find contrast between layers, visual layers, and social layers. And here it's a lot of layers on top of each other, creating those contrasts. So I think it's very cool.
And we hope at the very beginning, when you see that the big gate and you know so many trying to pass that gate into there, that we give you that feeling. You hear on the megaphones, and I'm not sure if the audio played there for them, but you hear on the megaphones where Kurt is saying, like, you know, no NCPD, no corpos, so on and so forth allowed there. And you even have scenes where NCPD is trying to get in, and the bar guest, his militia, is like back. Wait, am I allowed to curse? Am I allowed to curse?
Главного героя пересадили в другое тело.
Back the F up. Back the, no, okay. Anyways, yeah, so it just gave so much potential. And I think the other thing that we had a lot of fun with, and as Casper was saying, was just that sort of that feeling of like oppression. Like, you know, it's like even in the zone where, you know, people are, you know, they've got stands and they've got some commerce and they've got a life there. There's still those bar gas soldiers that are walking through, just making sure everyone's in order, so you feel that. And of course, the closer you get to the Black Sapphire, to his tower, the more it's sort of like in a military encampment.
I would still add to that what you said is that because you maybe made it feel like Kurtz's people, Barghest, are there to protect you. It's not entirely the case.
No,
they're trying to protect themselves.
That's true. That's a good point.
But they're trying to maybe just make sure that they're okay, but they don't care about you.
Okay, but let's
circle
back.
Мне показалось, или он рюмочку ставил через ногу.
We always thought it's like Voodoo Boys mostly, that's their turf.
True.
But Dogtown is controlled by Barghest, and the leader of Barghest is Kurt,
It's Kurt.
right?
Yeah, I think we have to make sure that it's all clear. Dogtown itself still being part of Pacifica in terms of the map, like geography. What's the word here?
Geography.
Thank you so much. But it's like as a entity, it's a separate thing, right? You have to go there. It's almost like a Vatican in Rome. If it's a good example, maybe not. But you know what I mean. Like
as far as borders go, yes. But otherwise, everything
that's
else,
what I meant.
no.
Yeah. I meant by the borders. But yeah, so when you go in there, it's a different world, and it's run by Kurt, right? And the Kurt is a ex-special force military guy from Militech. And after the war, he started his own army.
Вот эти персонажики с черепами над головой, я их мочил только молотом. Других, ну и еще, кстати, леской, но очень сложно было это все. Потому что подойти к ним прям на своем уровне низком.
Okay, so his army, his militia, let's say, is called Barghest, right? The forces are called Barghest. He's Kurt Hansen running the Barghest, and it's his playground. They do whatever they want to do there. Of course, he's also a businessman, but I don't know how far we can go there.
We can leave it here.
Okay,
people can meet
Kurt
on their own and find out more about it. In this playthrough, they have seen a peek into Kurt's life, everyday life. But okay, that's it about Kurt. Let's go into Rosalind Myers, because she is another very important character. Gabe already told us a little bit about her. She gets lost in Dogtown with her Space Force One being destroyed.
Они даже заморочились в студии, качили на компьютерах на заднем фоне какие-то иероглифы, заставочки, видосики. О, это получается Нью-Йорк, да? Или это... Почему там флаг был, а здесь «Я люблю Нью-Йорк»?
It's kind of a fun kind of like look around every corner in the first. I'm always hesitant. I don't want to spoil too much, but in the first sort of segment of gameplay, and in this scene here, we're seeing in a hideout, and I'm not sure if the audio is playing or whatever, but they're listening to Kurt. And this kind of goes to the point that you're trying to say. He's he's not just all brute. He's a smart politician, and he's playing a political game here with the propaganda machine, if you will, to say that this is a ploy. The president isn't really there, so everyone look away while he does what he wants to do. He's like, they're just trying to position Night City to be able to reinvade my place here, and they're trying to take advantage of this. So he's really putting everyone in a difficult situation politically, such that he can maintain his power and, of course, keep the president at risk. And you are, I'm not going to spoil anything more, but that's it.
Okay, so let's recap. We get contacted by Songbird to help the president. Kurt is.
Почему такие долгие? Долгие такие посиделочки. Нет, я понимаю.
I mean, he's our amazing Idris Elba portrait character, so
he's amazing,
Was this for me or for Casper?
Просто для стрима бы они могли бы и что-нибудь другое подобрать, чтобы все-таки более энергично было.
In Dogtown, right? So we meet him, and he's a big part of the story.
Yes.
He's awesome.
So
I'm really struggling here.
I know. I'm with you. I've been asked this before on some other ones, and I hesitate. But he's got a complicated past with Rosalind Myers, Songbird, but he is such a badass agent that was instrumental in the war that was there previously.
И сразу скрыли, не показали нам противников будущих.
The kind of drama begins, but at the same time, he's someone who has very much trying in this dark, future, wanting to find purpose in the cause and Noosa and that kind of stuff. And so it's complicated, right? Like that's how we like to set it up. We like to cut out the complicated drama.
I mean, the whole, district, Dogtown, everything sounds really complicated and, like always with kind of two sides of the coin, right?
The thing is that I feel like the only thing that we should be not spoiling is that we shouldn't like put any perspective. Everyone has their own agenda. I'm sorry.
For sure.
And it's really cool because when you don't know the story.
Здесь даже в чате прикалываются 2077 Cyberpunk хайп версия.
Okay. Before we actually move on, we have a question from the Twitch chat for you, Kacper.
Oh my
From Boltaim. I'm sorry if I pronounced it wrong. How did you approach navigation around Dogtown and the visual clues?
Okay, that's a great question. It's a very important question as well. So thank you so much for that. We always try to find any landmarks that will make the player understand navigation points. Even if we would be able to take away the map, the mini map, you should be able to find yourself and navigate for Dogtown. The thing is that Dogtown itself, you probably saw it from the trailers, it's like a very U-shaped structure. So it's easy to navigate to see whether or not you are looking at the big buildings or other big buildings, which are very different. When you're going to see it, you're going to understand it. But also when you go slightly deeper into smaller environments, we always try to put like small cues or buildings or even lights, because lights and shapes, they're the best tool to use for navigation. Going, let's say, even deeper into some parts of the Dogtown, we use things like tools like cables or colors or even things that you can just literally follow to find a path or something. So there's plenty of things that we used across Dogtown, and I really hope it works well, but I'm waiting for the feedback from you guys.
You'll be the judges.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, guys, so before we wrap up this Dogtown segment, I know that our community had a lot of questions about, can we expect a new apartment for V in this district?
Yes.
Gabe's like,
Gabe?
yes.
Simple
You
answer.
will,
It's awesome.
And it plays
it's
into
unique.
the main storyline, so not going to say any more than that other than yes.
Oh, and it's super cool and unique.
It makes sense. And one more, we have so many amazing characters. So we already talked about Somi, Reed, Kurt, Myers. Are there any new romance options in Phantom Liberty for V?
No. No, there's not.
Casual, no.
There's not. And here's the thing: is like we talked about it, and it's like, okay, this situation in this story, again, without spoiling too much, there was never like a moment in which it's like, okay, let's force romance and sex on you. It just didn't want. It was like it would be exploitive. It didn't go with the rhythm of the story we were trying to tell, and so it's not there. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, I think V will be busy with something else.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, guys. So to sum up, we have a new district straight in Pacifica. The district is run by Barguest, whose leader is Kurt Hansen. This is basically a city within Night City with their own laws and law enforcement, etc. And in Dogtown, we're gonna meet Kurt Hansen, Rosalind Myers, Solomon Reed, and many, many other characters that we want you to discover for yourself. And now we can go into something that was super highly anticipated by everyone.
Yeah, I think like
What is it? Yeah.
we've had like millions questions about it,
Since the release of the game.
Already, yeah?
So we're gonna talk about the police.
Ooh.
Yeah. All right. I know.
Как говорится, Gamescom еще идет, да. Еще завтра будет несколько так скажем, выставок образно, да. Но завтра я, к сожалению, не смогу там их стримить. Там у нас что останется? Если я не ошибаюсь, это сам Xbox Gamescom будет часов в 5 по Москве, короче. И также 25-го это будет с часу до 9 AMD выставка, которая будет транслироваться на Твиче.
And right now we've got.
Ну и 29-го это еще Panic Game
So yeah. So
Showcase.
all of them you can use your pistols, your SMGs, and shoot from it.
Скорее всего, это самое будет последнее.
Some vehicles have mounted turrets, of which we're demonstrating there, and then some vehicles have missile racks as well. So as far as the vehicle combat goes, those are your options with that. Oh, and there's hacking. You can hack as well from the vehicle and into other vehicles. How awesome does that look? And man, kudos to who recorded this in first person, driving in first person and shooting in first person. But yeah, so, and should I jump into the police system?
Yes, because I think we just made them a bit angry. Like
Yeah,
in there.
Oh, with vehicle combat, I should actually back up for a second. So on the bikes, you can also use melee weapons, which is a lot of fun. And then you can precision shot the gas tanks, which is different on different vehicles as they're different made. So it's one of those fun things that, as you
Что они меня задолбали? И всякие эти мошенники звонят. Уже, вот за стрим уже это раз третий звонят. Я слышу, что что-то Valve собирается анонсировать. Ну как, не Valve, там Half-Life какой-то будет. Ну прям реально внешний вид Half-Life. Ну причем первого. Не знаю, не уверен, не уверен. Valve сидит это очень хорошо, так что им это даже не нужно. Но, как говорится, надо надеяться на самое лучшее. Чувачки-то все опасненькие.
Yeah. And when MaxTax shows up, so if you're in a vehicle and MaxTax trying to get you, you'll see on the screen they're trying to hack your vehicle to, stop you. And then if your vehicle gets hacked, then they show up in an AV, or if you're on foot already, and 4 MaxTac come out. There's 5 different archetypes, and it's a random 4 of the 5 different archetypes that come out to fight you. And one of the things is, like, as those of you who know you've played, there's difficulty modes, right? And you put on lower difficulty modes, guys are actually easier. However, with MaxTac,
Мне очень интересно, почему над ними стоит же это черепок. Это означает, что они выше его рангом, и ему сложно завалить их будет, а он просто фигачит как может. Его даже повредить не могут.
Yeah, so what should I go into? I mean, I could talk forever about this stuff. There's just so much.
I don't know. I was playing and I was.
Не, я не могу установить на телефон игнорирование звонков, потому что у меня клиенты звонят.
So I actually reached MaxTac this way because I just wanted them to leave me alone.
Yeah, I just actually wanted to ask, like, what's the, the search loop for the police? Like, can you just, like, I know you can run away from
Блин,
them,
местечко незнакомое. Реально, как будто это дополнительное какое-то это поставили. А хотя вот это здание сверху здесь вот слева, что-то похожее где-то видел. Мне вот интересно, если стрелять по этой летающей посудине, и она упадет, нет? Вместе с этими. You'll see little circles of their cone of visions or whatever, and you can navigate in the roads and avoid them and that kind of thing or whatnot. And then, of course, if you get on foot, it's a little bit easier to lose them. So you should be familiar with that kind of loop there. And then, of course, if you go into quest areas and there's a quest you want to pursue, we tone it down appropriately for the quest as well. Ух ты, вот это поворотик был. То ли это баг такой был, то ли попытка ударить ногою, непонятно.
Helping me to fight the police. Is that the case as well, like for most of the gangsters? I was just lucky.
Не, ну, кстати, смотрите, вот полиция начала приезжать, прям
It
видно.
does stuff and it affects the world, but we also have other agents in the world, and we've also done a number of different enhancements on that front. You might see like two gangs just like chasing each other. You might see cops chasing some gangsters or whatever. It has nothing to do with you.
Да,
It's
соглашусь,
happening in the
это,
world alive.
так
Yeah, you
скажем,
might feel
ассет на
you
всю
particularly
игру
go to Dogtown, you
одинаковый,
see like a
так что
caravan doing a weapons transport over
узнавать
here,
сложно.
and there's an airdrop or
Не, ну
whatever.
там есть прям
And Kurt's
определенные
going,
места,
yeah,
которые
you can
прям
intersect, and maybe there's some cool loot to be found there or whatnot.
по
But at the
схеме
same
ты
time
можешь
here, like
понять
if you're in issue
примерной,
with the police and there's something else going on with the gang, yeah,
по
it's a
расположению.
mix.
So they can help out, or not.
If you play it right, yeah. You gotta be careful where your bullets fly.
Okay. I actually also wanted to go back to the hit system.
Магазинчик
You know, we
Бруклин.
have the stars, but can we actually explain how you can get the stars? Like, so if I, shoot someone randomly.
Кстати, здесь, смотрите,
Star, 2 stars, or do I actually have to run through like bunch of people to get?
я не всегда замечал, есть ли вообще вот вывески оба, а как он встал-то?
If you run someone over, if you
Или
shoot
типа
someone intentionally, you get
адреналин столько
Now,
прибавился?
especially when you get into Dogtown, but also in some other situations, you might get some stars based on quest situations, like things that are happening. And how do you, there's a formula and it's a great end. So I can't say exactly like, okay, if you kill 3 people, it's, an important point, it varies by district and neighborhood.
Okay.
And funding, right? Because we wanted, part of the.
А что-то они любители такие, боевочкой, ногой и рукой потолкать.
It's a star, it's a crime, but how far do they escalate? Do they send in the big guns? Do they send in max tac? It really depends on the funding in the district. And you also hear different, the police have different comments about what district and how much they care, what they're going to do, and that kind of stuff.
Какая-то Корпо Плаза.
More about Dogtown police, like, and will NCPD go there?
И ни разу не открыли карту, блин. Хотя посмотреть, где это, в какой части. Да, у них весь стрим по Cyberpunk. Это про Phantom Liberty, чисто никаких ведьмаков, как говорится. И что у них там еще было? Карточных игр, которые они вроде прикрыли, если я не ошибаюсь, да?
But no, in Dogtown, max tac will show up because if there's someone that's at that level and it's cyberpsychosis, like, because you're causing that much.
Ну, с одной стороны, молодцы, то, что, типа, это, надо одну игру раскручивать, раз она...
Can we defeat Maxtac? I know Sebastian is already killing them.
Опять эта девушка, которой помогали. Ну, как минимум, я помогал.
But no, and the other thing to note is in Badlands is Militech. Militech is out there.
All right.
In the Badlands as far as the units go with the heat system.
All right, so I think we covered most of the police feature. If you guys have any questions, please drop them on our forums and Discord, so we will try to clarify anything that's unclear, or if you want to know more during.
Я что-то не вижу, чтобы пользовались все-таки этими какими-то элементами там, кроме рук.
No, we don't have a bribe.
Кибератаками, как говорится.
Sorry, yeah, I was watching. I wanted to see what he did. He did Quake, which is really fun because when you do the slam, it does physics on vehicles, and you get some nice.
But that's props for him for really surviving such a long time. Max tag.
All right, what's the next one?
Наконец-то начинаешь падать от автомобилей более конкретно. А то у меня как-то были несколько вариантов, когда автомобиль в меня врезается и просто переворачивается, взрывается.
Yeah, exactly. So there are parts that you're gonna explore new places in Night City itself, but the majority of the thing is Dogtown.
That's enough. I think that's enough for people to know. And another one, will Dogtown be accessible outside of Phantom Liberty?
So no, to be able to have the full experience of Dogtown, you have to get Phantom Liberty. However, for people that don't get Phantom Liberty, you're going to be able to see Phantom Liberty, Dogtown, from let's say from perspective of someone that cannot get in there. So you're going to see the whole thing. You're going to see the gates. You're going to see people standing trying to get there, but you will not be able to get because you don't have the access to it.
So you will see the gate.
Exactly. You see the gate. You will see horizon, the vista itself. It's there, but you will not be able to get in.
Okay. So now
I love it. Sorry to interrupt. Yeah, he's trying to they're shooting past him with the mounted weapons, and he's trying to outmaneuver. This is fun. And he's got that. You see the.
Ну, автомобиль как по рельсам ездит. Блин, ну опять место незнакомое.
All right, what's the next one? What's the next question?
Oh, you like the questions?
Well, I mean, I don't know. What's the next part in the script? Like, where do we go?
I mean, we're gonna go. If you want to talk a little bit more about the car combat, this is perfect place as well.
I can just talk about this from the perspective of the player.
Okay.
Right, which is when I remember you told me at some point like we're gonna get there. I was like, okay, fine, but I had no idea how fun it's gonna be, you know, because it's really really fun. And from one point of view, being fun is that it also gives so much more fun factor.
Интересно, рекламу можно у них купить в Киберпанке? Прикиньте, они продавали, да, это рекламные места в игре.
It's really awesome gameplay loop, and I really have fun so much with it. So I'm just trying to say that this is just awesome. It's one of the best features I feel like we're introducing here, from my perspective, of course.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's the goal, is to try to give. I mean, and I've said this in other interviews, but the city is beautiful, right? Like in the dark future kind of way, of course. But yes, it's beautiful and it feels so alive, and we wanted to just breathe more life into it. And the way to do that is with kind of systems that complement.
Автомобили сами начинают взрываться, походу.
Are we going to talk about vehicle gigs or vehicle contracts?
Yes, we have another gameplay later on, so we can.
I'm famous for going out of order.
Yeah, because it always connects very well to this endless gameplay loop, which is so much fun, from both Dogtown and Night City.
We lost all the stars, and
I think we're gonna be safe right now.
Like he killed everyone. He killed the whole max tech
almost, like there's still like, you know.
The whole NCPD is dead.
But yeah, I guess we can go to the vehicle gigs.
Okay, so what we're gonna show you in a second is our brand new type of missions. So we're gonna have vehicle gigs, which, as Kacper already mentioned, are very well connected with the police system and the car combat, because you basically start getting chased, so it's very easy to kill someone, and then police gets into it, and you know, so on and so on. So let's start with the next part of the gameplay. And here we find a car, and we will in a second get a call from Muammar Reyes, El Capitan, the fixer that you know from the game. And there is one thing that we wanted to clarify. It's not Mama Wallace that is gonna be selling you guys the cars and dealing with all those missions. It's Muammar Reyes.
Yeah, I don't think Mama Wallace will be able to sell the cars. She can actually sell you a drink if you ask her not.
Вот эти машинки, конечно, квадратные, прикольные появились. Они высокие, квадратные.
Yeah, so in Dogtown, you'll get this kind of new activity unlocked. Vehicle gigs or vehicle contracts.
Интересно выглядит.
Miramar reaches out and he's like, "Hey, you're in Dogtown. You can help me out with something and pick up this vehicle." And this is the introductory quest to it, I believe, that we're playing right here.
Ничего себе.
When you get there, he's going to be like, "Listen, I've got a bunch
Даже
of
свои бордюры появились.
Night City and Dogtown. If you can help me with this, then you know, you'll be compensated, and one of the ways he compensates you is by unlocking new types of vehicles, including missile launchers. This is how you get the missile launchers unlocked, is through Miramar. And there's of course, as we like to do at CD Projekt Red, there's a story surrounding this, and it is.
And for me, it was insanely surprised when I first time played it, and it was.
Ну вот, кстати, да, то есть можно прицелиться в противников и отстреливаться.
So yeah, and you know, and it has to do with like his hometown and that kind of stuff. And I don't want to spoil anything, but one of the key features of this is that it is you just see it, like you'll see on your map.
Относительно появляется свой Кармакедон в Киберпанке.
Либо Interstate. And
Кстати, одна из интересных игр в свое время, правда, это было 2000-е.
Some are just all out combat, some are about like you got to get to a place in time. So it's a very and it's different locations. It's all like what's the word I'm looking for? I hesitate to use this, dynamic. I keep using it, but it's like
it is dynamic.
It's all over the place. But again, you unlock it in Dogtown with Phantom Liberty. But you'll see it throughout Night City at that point.
But it won't be in the base game. It's just the Phantom Liberty.
This is one of the things in Phantom Liberty. Yeah.
Okay, so you mentioned that we can actually unlock some cars with weapons, vehicles with weapons through that quest. But we had people asking us whether they can actually add weapons onto the cars that they already have.
No, it's preset. Though there are some vehicles
Кстати,
in the base game that you already like.
С одной стороны, проблема в том, что когда ты в машине, ты только на машины можешь целиться. На персонажа не получается. Ну да, есть такое. Вот у нас появилась комбат на автомобилях и начинает одно и то же. Как говорится, хайп.
You need a cyber deck and you need a perk to unlock it. But the better of a netrunner you are, the more different hacks on vehicles you unlock.
Интересно, можно настраиваться только на противников или на обычные автомобили тоже можно? Они ничего не показывают такого.
And of course, one of the really powerful ones are to detonate. You can detonate the car on them. And then probably the most fun one is you can remote control a vehicle. So,
really?
By hacking. Yeah. So you can remote control a vehicle. You're hacking. I got to remember to look at the red camera.
Yes.
Sorry guys, I'm not so great at that. But yeah, you can remote control it. A sandbox of
И чувак появился как-то там. Он сзади вышел или же оттуда, откуда заехал? Что-то я не сообразил.
Cool. Okay, so we are dropping by the car to El Capitan. And that's how the story ends, but we're also not gonna show you everything. And if you guys have a tail, so if the police is chasing you or the gangs are chasing you, you need to lose them, so you won't be
Опасный чувак с такой прической, страшно общаться с такими людьми. Я вспоминаю из бригады, там был кабан. Вот у него такая же прическа в свое время была.
Okay, cool guys. So we can finish watching this gameplay, but this is actually the last gameplay part of this stream that we have prepared today. I know that this is not all of the topics that have been mentioned in the new ways to play trailer. We're gonna get back to that in our next stream soon. But let's sum up. We told you about the revamped perks. You actually could see all of the trees that we reworked. They're less perks, but they are more impactful right now. Am I correct?
Yeah, I would say overall, but there is just so many more like actual action perks. So many more like things to do now, like a crazy amount more.
Okay, and this is coming with update 2.0, right?
It is. Yes.
It's not
2.0.
only Phantom Liberty. Great.
Yeah.
Great.
Is this where we talk about that part?
Yes, we can. We summarize everything and we tell people what is coming in the update and what is coming in the expansion.
All right, yeah. So the perk overhaul, all the new ways to play, the new ways that we revamped the Netrunner, the body, the strong solo, the fast solo, the techie, all the different hybrid combinations you guys are going to think of. Yep, that's all in 2.0. The revamp of the police system.
Женскую властную мужскую модель приделали. Но относительно. Как бы некоторые также носят. Хотя нет, точно, реально же там была такая брюнетка, которая такая же стрижка была.
That's 2.0. Car Combat's 2.0. I mean, because it's like it'd be weird, like, you can only draw your gun. No, it's the whole game.
But the car geeks are gonna be Phantom Liberty.
They are, yes.
Okay, cool. So I guess these are all the things that we mentioned.
Yeah.
And please keep in mind that the Phantom Liberty expansion is coming on September 26th on
Yay!
PlayStation 5, Xbox Series S and X, as well as PC. And update 2.0 is coming a little bit before that.
Yeah, so I guess we can move to the Q&A session.
Yes.
We picked some of the questions from our community that you guys sent over to us during last few days.
Я очень редко ездил вообще в автомобиле с внутренней камерой.
Will Netrunner have a significant change in the expansion?
Это, наверное, прикольно, если руль какой-нибудь поставить. Интересно, рули подсоединяются? Нет? К Киберпанку? Можно взять у кого-нибудь руль и попробовать сыграть.
But more net running. I did talk about the nanowire and how we incorporated that, but you'll find that the way we use the kind of the resource system and the costs, that it is a much easier to play at the beginning thing, but we still have the mastery levels to it, and we added new kinds of ways to really push your mastery in playing it. For example, you can now queue up multiple hacks on one target, and based on what you queue up, there's different combinations and things that can happen. Yeah. So, I mean, there's a lot of the familiar hacks you'll see from before, contagion, all the shock, all that stuff, but there's new ways to engage with it. We also incorporated, and I apologize, I'm not going to do all the justice to it, but smart weapons, like ways that, like smart weapons we feel, and the nanowire, it pairs really well with net running, and so there's like synergies that you can play off of with like kind of regenerating your memory, that kind of stuff. So, it has a very different rhythm to it. I mean, maybe that's the best way to put it, a very different rhythm to it, which we hope everyone enjoys.
All right, awesome. So the next question is from Nerm, and it says, I think we touched on it a little bit. Are there different types of vehicle geeks, or are they all the same grabber cars?
They're different, right?
Yeah, well, we talked about it. So, but obviously vehicle gig, grabbing a car is essential to it, the vehicle combat, right? But then, yeah, the objectives are to get it to a location, to hack an individual, to get there in time, to kill, enemies, whatnot. But yeah, there's a different variety.
Okay, so the next one by Amlab04. Will the level of friendship that we have with Johnny Silverhand have an impact in the dialogues in Dogtown?
Yes, and also one of the important things to note is that, and I think we said this in another interview, but your experience with Johnny in Dogtown, there's a story arc to it, and he has some different character arc moments he can reach to based on your decisions and what happens and stuff like that, and it is even reflected in some of the dialogue in the base game as well. So we did connect the stuff. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm skipping a few questions because we have already answered those, but there is a nice question that we touched up on, but we already know why Night City gave up. On Pacifica there was a war, but the rest of the questions is asking, why is it actually called Dogtown?
Our guess, dogs.
It's
it's a colloquial term. It's not like an official term.
Of course.
It's like the because Kurt Hansen, his dog, his Bargast, and so they call it Dogtown. Oh, what? This shirt here.
I don't know.
Whose side are you on?
I don't know.
I think he likes Bargast too much.
Yeah.
Probably.
Well, they did an amazing job with.
They do have interesting lives.
Yeah. They did an amazing job with Dogtown, so it makes sense.
So there are no dogs in Dogtown, right?
Oh, no.
Well, I mean, they are, I guess, in a way.
In
if
some
you
way.
count them.
Yeah. All right, so the next question will be by Andrew. How connected is Phantom Liberty to the rest of the story? Is it just a side story?
It is that's a difficult, it is its own contained story, but it is integrated in that it has all to do with V, it's like V's situation is a big part of that story, so it's integrated in that way. But it is, you can play it by itself if you want to, or you can play it in an integrated way, as I think we touched at the beginning.
Yeah, we did.
Okay, so the next question is from Vergener. How post-apocalyptic will the upcoming expansion be? Will there be heavily overgrown locations, and how much of the post-apocalyptic surroundings will be felt in the expansion?
So as we briefly touched upon
Yes.
that. We try to make this dystopian world feel like it's almost post-apocalyptic. And yes, they're going to be overgrown places. They're going to be places which are deserted. They're going to be places which are almost falling apart. And that's what makes Dogtown a bit different. And that's also what makes the contrast, that people are trying to survive there, yet it's a very, very harsh environment. So very post-apocalyptic, and I hope it fits the whole vibe of the
Oh
thing.
yeah, it does. So next one.
Right, so that would be
Give
the
me
last.
more.
The last
More?
It's fun.
I mean, come on, guys! You can drop us still the questions in the chat. We still have a few minutes, but yeah, for now, the last one
How about the last one?
will be: will the current level limit will be
Oh, that's an important
up,
one.
down?
Yeah. So with Phantom Liberty, you get the level plus 10, 60.
So
Yes.
no 70.
No, not 70, 60.
60.
60 level cap. Yep.
What about the street cred?
New weapons, new cyberware. We didn't talk about it. I guess that's next stream. Sorry. Okay.
Okay.
Like I said, I go out
Cyberware,
of
yeah,
order
we're
with
gonna
stuff.
talk about it.
Yeah, cyberware will be the next stream.
All right. Sorry. Sorry. What was your
What
question?
about the street cred?
Oh,
Will
Can
the
it
level
raise?
of the street cred will be
yeah.
up?
No. That
Okay.
actually.
Вроде я помню, был уровень максимальный
Yeah,
50,
new,
а сейчас уже 60, что ли?
with Mr. Hands, which we showed in the trailer. I'm not spoiling anything there. You can now fill that up, and there's new stuff to be had there. And he's quite integrated with the story as well, which is a fun thing that we did.
Mr. Hans.
Mr. Hans.
Yeah, Mr. Hans, yes.
All right, so guys, thank you for answering those questions. If we get some more, we might try to fit them in. But we're getting closer and closer to the end of the stream. So I'm gonna sum up everything for you once again, and there is gonna be another stream in a couple of weeks where we're gonna deep dive in some other topics that have been also mentioned in the New Ways to Play video. For now, we talked about the revamped perks and skills. We showed you for the first time the full relic skill tree. We also went deeper into the Dogtown and showed you, you were able to meet some of the characters from the expansion. So we showed you Kurt, Rosalind Myers, Songbird, Solomon Reed, etc. Then we also talked about the upgraded police system, which is completely crazy right now. You can actually see that on the screen right now, how crazy that is. And we also discussed the brand new type of missions for you, which is vehicle geeks, as well as all of the loop with car chases and vehicular combat. There will be more stuff that we will discuss next time, but for now that's it.
Yeah, and briefly what Alicia mentioned, in the next stream, in a few weeks, we'll be talking about the cyberware changes, the armor changes, UI, combat changes, and we will try to address a lot more questions from you guys. If you have anything specific that you would like to know and we didn't cover it today about Phantom Liberty or 2.0, as always, leave them during the stream on Twitch chat and on our forum and Discord channels. And remember, Phantom Liberty is coming very, very soon, September 26th, on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series S and X, as well as PC. And the patch 2.0 will also come to those platforms a few days, weeks, who knows, earlier. So it will be.
Ну, вроде бы заканчивают уже.
Update 2.0 is not coming to last gen consoles, so PlayStation 4 and Xbox One.
And you can also play Phantom Liberty on GeForce Now. And we also would like to highlight the newly announced NVIDIA DLSS 3.5, featuring reconstructions for all Cyberpunk 2077 and Phantom
И
Liberty.
снова нам рекламируют DLSS 3.0.
I was seeing on the monitor at the convention, and I was like, okay, so this is a new loading screen we've got there, and then I hit, and I was, no, it's not. It was actually the game. It just looked like a flash.
Yeah, I was lucky
Technology.
Kuba, who's working with
Can I
NVIDIA,
put that?
because he's next to my desk. He's always like, "Come over, look at this." I'm like, "It's a movie. What you showing me next?" No, it's our game. I'm like, Jesus, it's incredible.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. When we saw the update, I was like, you have to check this out. Really, I'm worthless right now.
Okay, so one more thing for our streamers on Twitch. If you are a content creator who stream on Twitch, make sure to watch out for our social channels because we're gonna have a very cool thing for you very soon. So coming soon. And I'm afraid that we need. No. I'm afraid that we need to finish. But do you have any last words for our players, for our community?
Thanks for attending, and you know, we can't wait to get it in y'all's hands. And yeah, just thank you so much for, you know, the support and sticking there, and yeah, we're amped. We're amped and believing in us. Yeah,
because it was a hard time, but Phantom really gonna be awesome. I really hope everyone's gonna enjoy this as much as we did doing it, and it was a ride.
So soon.
It was a ride.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you, Kacper. Thank you, Gabe,
Thank you so
for
much for
joining
having
us.
us.
We're gonna have more information coming soon. But I hope you learned a lot from this stream and enjoyed it. So thank you very much, and see you next time.
Thank you so much. Bye bye.
Как говорится, да, thank you, что мы посмотрели. В общем, будем ждать. Есть что интересное. Будем ловить новые баги, как обычно. В общем, друзья, до скорой встречи. 29-го, наверное, будем как раз-таки еще встречаться на Gamescom, на Panic Games Showcase. Так что всем пока.